Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. This week we are neck deep in the Gnut Fusion. This is a traditional fusion, not a fragment event. I'm just going to quickly go through Gnut's kit because he's a really good champion, and I think he's a must for anyone that can get fusions. Anyone who's got the resources to be able to do it, I think is an absolute must. So I'm going to go through his kit and then show you my progress on the fusion. I'm doing him on both of my accounts because I think he's going to be a really good champion. So let's jump straight into it. So on his A1, he has attacks one enemy 3 times. Each hit has an 80% chance of decreasing the turn meter, the enemy's turn meter, by 15%. If the target's turn meter is not decreased, each hit has an 80%, 100% if booked, of placing a freeze debuff on the target for 1 turn instead. So that's going to be really good for the new hard Fire Knight. He's one of the only champions in the game that can probably actually drop the turn meter of the Fire Knight sort of consistently, and might become a bit of like an allure. Allure's really good for general Fire Knight, for normal Fire Knight, so he might become that sort of version for the hard Fire Knight. On his A2, he has attacks all enemies, has a 75% chance of placing a decrease attack debuff and a weaken debuff on all enemies for 2 turns. Also places a counteract buff on this champion for 2 turns, and that's based on defense because he's a defense-based champion, so that makes sense. So yeah, we got a decreased attack, weaken, and a counter attack on him, so he can keep hitting back when enemies hit him. And then on his A3, he has attacks one enemy 3 times. Each hit decreases the target's defense by 3% and can stack up to 30%. Each hit also heals this champion by 30% of the damage dealt, and that's based on champion max HP. So he's a new champion max HP. He's a new enemy max HP champion, where there isn't that many in the game, and it's always nice to have another one. And because this is on a 4-turn cooldown and this one is on a 3-turn cooldown, I think it makes this champion really viable, and it definitely makes him viable for Fire Knight, and even potentially with the decreased defense on his A3 combined with decreased defense generally, decreased defense on blessings and stuff like that, he might be really viable for clan boss as well, which is what I'm always interested in. And he has a accuracy by 80 in all battles. So that's Gnut the Dwarf. I think he's going to be a really good champion. I think he's an absolute must if you can get him. And if you can't, I think you should absolutely push for him and try and get him as much as you can. I've been punching on with his events. So as you can see on the tournament side of things, we've had the Spider Tournament, which I got through, I smashed out actually. I did really well in that one. I got all of the rewards. We've had the Classic Arena Takedown, which again, I'm just doing sort of naturally. I haven't really spent any resources on it. I'm just sort of punching through that and doing all of my arena battles every day, and I've got this far in it already. And then Dragon Tournament, which started yesterday, I think, which I'm going to be grinding out the rest of today. We also have in the event side of things, we've already had a artifact enhancement event, and we're already on to the second one. So if you haven't started it already, you might have already missed out with the spider and the artifact enhancement event. But yeah, so we've got the second one going on now, which I've already completed. We've got the Summon Rush, which is what today's video is going to be on, and Champion Training Event, which I think I smashed out. I've got over and above the reward of the rare champion. So, and as I mentioned before, today's video is going to be me pulling shards for Gnut for the Summon Rush event. It's going to be a little different than what I normally do. On this account, I've got 8 Sacreds, and as anyone who's watched my videos before, I save Sacreds for Fusion and Fragment events. But on my other account, I haven't been so lucky in my clan boss rewards, so I've only got 2 Sacreds on the other one. So I'm going to have to be a bit crafty and pull some other shards in this video, just to be able to get the points for the Summon Rush. I'm not going to go for the Epic in the Summon Rush. I'll show you that now. Because it's so many points, 5,400 points. I don't have the shards for that. I think maybe if you put money into the game or you've been saving up Sacreds for a long time, then you probably will have enough for that. But I just don't have enough shards. I don't have enough resources. Even if I used up all my resources on both of my accounts, I wouldn't have enough for the rest of the Fusion, and definitely wouldn't have enough for the Champion Chase next weekend. So I'm going to have to be a bit crafty. On this account, it's kind of fine. I am going to use my 17 Ancients and my 13 Voids before I jump into the Sacred Shards. And I think I only need to use 1 Sacred Shard if that's the case on this account. But I'll pull those, and then we'll see how many points we've got, and then we'll jump into the Sacreds if we need to. So let's jump into it with the 17 Ancients. That's 1 10 pull and then 7 individual pulls. I did forget to mention, I'll show you guys once we've pulled these 10. There is a times 10 on at the moment. I thought that was one of the epics for the fusion then. I was quite excited. Nothing of interest there. There is a ×10 event which has Krisk in it, which for anyone that knows, I'm always looking for an infinity team on Clan Boss, and Krisk is kind of the key player for that because he increases the buffs on your allies. So he's definitely a key player on that. So if I can pull a Krisk, I'll be pretty happy. I don't hold my hopes very high for any legendaries or anything like that, but it's always worth a shot. Any of the other champions would be really helpful and really great, but nothing that I'm particularly looking for at this time. So we did the first temple on Ancients. Let's jump into the 7, see how it goes. If I pull a legendary, I'll be pretty happy, but on a ×10, I don't really expect much. Nullhorn, great rare. Not a champion I'm going to build anytime soon. I've done Faction Wars. I don't really need those rares at this point. Doomstrider, not a good champion. On to the next one. Crossbowman, see you later. Not interested in him at all. Really, any rares, and this is quite a bad batch. Really, any rares I'm not really that fussed about. Maybe a Cold Heart, but I do have Cold Hearts on both accounts now. I've actually just built out a second Cold Heart on my Kale account, which is this one. So yeah, I've got 2 now built out Cold Hearts. Not very well. I just sort of pieced that together for something that I was doing before. Maybe it was Doom Tower. I pieced another Cold Heart together just out of the gear that I had. I didn't really look into her gear that much. Just enough so she could do her job. So that is all the Ancients done. And now on to the 13 epics. 1 10-pull, a Krisk, or any any Void Legendary. We'll just top things off. That'll make me pretty happy. A Renegade there, great champion, resets the active skills of your champions on cooldown. Not all rares. There we go. All rares on that one. Not even a Cold Heart. And then 3 individual ones. And then we'll check my points, see how we're doing, and then pull any sacreds that we need to pull. Ragemonger, no thank you. Anything other than a rare would be really nice. Stitched Beast. Even an epic. Man-Eater, I'll take another rare. How embarrassing. It's not a good pull today. Let's go and check our points and see how many sacreds I need to pull to make sure that I get this rare in here. Okay, so I need 1 more. I'll just pick up these rewards while we're here, and we'll go and pull a sacred. So here we go, guys. 1 sacred. A legendary. It's an epic. Of course it is. A Killia. Not interested in Killia, I'm afraid. Sorry about that. What I'll do, guys, I'll log on to my other account. We'll see how many shards we need to pull on that one. And before we get into pulling shards on this account, guys, if you like my content and want to see more of it, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. It means a huge amount to me. I've currently got about 75 subscribers. And my next big milestone is 100 subscribers. If I get that many, I know that I'm doing well on YouTube and I'm creating content that people enjoy. So yeah, like this video, subscribe to the channel. Let's get into pulling shards. So I did a bit of a bad thing on this account because I didn't have as many sacreds on this account. As you can see, I've only got 2. I've had really bad luck on my Clan Boss rewards. So I had about 8,000 gems. I've spent them. I've got some more ancient shards. Just because I need to get this Gnut champion. I think he's going to be really good. I think he's going to be a really used champion. And I've made mistakes with not doing fusions before and really regretting it. If you've watched any of my other sort of shard pool videos, you'll know that I'm always wishing for a Brogni. And he was a fragment summons, I think. And I didn't do it because I followed the advice of some popular YouTubers out there who weren't going to get him, and they regretted it, and I also regret it. So yeah, I bought some. I think I must have bought 33 ancient shards. I'm going to pull all of them, all of my voids, and then see what I need to do with sacreds to make up the rest of the points for this rare. Let's jump into it. I've got a little bit of room. I'm going to be able to do a couple of temples, but I'm going to have to go off and get rid of some of these chickens, because that's all they are at this point, chickens. Hopefully with this amount of... Oh, I thought that was going to be a good champion then. It's just a Grunch Killjoy. Hopefully, pulling all of these ancients, I might pull the rare for the fusion, and that's just going to save me some time, save me from doing one of these events, especially as I'm not getting the epic out of this fragment summons. So it'll be really good if I could get that rare and sort of, yeah, save some time, save some energy. What I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to make some room, and then I'll be right back. And we've got a little bit more room here, guys. Unfortunately, I am going to have to go off camera again at one point and make some more room. Let's get into this 10 pull. Hopefully we get a good champion. Anything but rares. It's always difficult in a non-times 2 environment because you get pulls like this, which are just awful. This, though, is the rare for the fusion. So that's going to save me at least one event and mean I'm not going to have to do at least one event, which is great to see. Hopefully we get the same on the Void Champion, and that's just another event that I can miss. On to the next 10 pull, though. Fingers crossed. Any good epic, any legendary. Not all rares, please. All rares it is. And I think, is this the last 10 pull? We'll go on to the last 10 pull, see where we're at. A big pause. It could be my internet connection, but it could be because I'm about to get 3 legendaries in a row. Let's see. Fingers crossed. Or all rares. Nothing of note on that 10 pull, guys. Let's see how many more we've got. So I can pull this one, and then I'm going to make some room, and then we can have a seamless rest of this shard pull and see how many points we have. Give me a second, guys. I'll be right back. So let's pull these voids. 13 of them. 1 10 pull. Fingers crossed. A Krisk. I'll take a Krisk. I think anyone at this point would take a Krisk. Even the big whales that have spent all the money in the world on this game would take a Krisk at this point. 2 epics is not bad going, and a Painkeeper and a Bellower in there. Some great champions. Faceless, not so great. Lure, not so great. But Painkeeper and Bellower definitely standout rares for sure. I'll pull these last 3. We'll go and see how many points I've got, and then I'll pull whatever sacreds I need to pull. And if that's still not enough points, I will just I'll just buy ancients. I'll do it. Not with real money because both of my accounts are free to play. But I will use my gems to buy shards. I'm not shy to. I do try and save them for these sorts of events, for fragments and fusions, so I can convert them into energy. But I will spend them if I need to. I think 6,000 gems is definitely going to get me through the Gnut Fusion, so I don't think that's going to be a problem. How many points do we need? We don't need any points, guys. So that is it. That is the end of the video. As you can see, I've got the rare on this account. I definitely have the rare on the other account. So all I'm going to be doing for the rest of today is grinding out Dragon and then maybe leveling up. Although I don't advise this, leveling up the rares that I've got for this fusion. I don't necessarily advise people to do that. Wait for the champion training event. But with a couple of tips and using your tavern and your brews properly, it can be quite easy to do these champion training events now. So I don't think it's going to be too much of a problem for me anyway. So yeah, I might spend the rest of the day doing that. Good luck to you if you're trying to get Gnut as well. He's a really good champion. Definitely go for him. Thanks for watching. See you next time.